region Netflix to check out shows that you can't normally check out. I'm going to go ahead and double check this one live on the air. And yep, it is correct. If you have American Netflix, you cannot watch the Lord of the Rings movies.
Ooh, what the fuck?
And only available on the moon.
And apparently they are available on Canadian Netflix. So if you want to check out legitimately one of the greatest trio of movies ever made, try EXPRESSVPN.
No child actors either.
Yeah. Try EXPRESSVPN. Check that shit out. And you can get 3 months for free by going to expressvpn.com/official. EXPRESSVPN.com/official for 3 months free. That'll give you plenty of time, maybe just enough time to watch all 3 Lord of the Rings movies, because goddamn are those movies.
They're so long.
They are legitimately 11 and a half hours end to end.
And they're so good.
But they're so good. They're so fucking good.
You're not even mentioning, not to mention The Hobbit, which also was just artificially inflated to be like, what, 200 hours?
It's like a little bonus movie if 11 and a half hours of movies isn't enough for you.
Was it meant to be a third Hobbit?
There was a third Hobbit.
Yeah,
it was really bad. Hobbit.
What am I thinking of?
I think The Desolation of Smaug, something like that. Was the third one.
It was
I
bad.
thought that was the second one.
Oh, you might be right.
I don't remember.
That's the one where the main dwarf and the big orc fight on the ice and just scream at each other for like 20 minutes.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, Legolas is there too, and the girl's there and shit.
Yeah,
the first half of the movie's okay, and then the last half is just pure butt fucking chaos with everyone yelling the entire time.
The second one ends with the dragon flying over that water city, right?
Yeah, and then it has
the city on the,
he shoots him with the
one
black
arrow that happens to hit the one spot, you know.
Yeah.
I will say that book is very short.
Oh, The Hobbit's a children's book.
Yeah. The movies are just very long. Like they took the same exact formula, the same 3 movies, 2.5 hours that they did for 3 like fat books for 1 children's book, which I don't know how they did that. That's crazy.
What's funny too is the children's book, the fucking Hobbit book, a third of it is lyrics to songs that they don't even tell you how to sing.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It's neat. It's like nice world building, but it also means the book's short as fuck because they're like, okay, we are all here in Bilbo's house, and we're about to go on an adventure, but let's sing first. And the next 6 pages are like, and here's the song the dwarves sang.
Misty Mountains went hard. The one in the movie,
cute.
the adaptation.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just I'm pointing out how just the book finds ways to get shorter and shorter, and yet the movies for The Hobbit are like what 5 hours in total.
Yeah, even though the movies were fucking awful, it is pretty impressive that they were able to get a trilogy out of that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very short. Good for them.
Lord of the Rings is so fucking cool, man.
It is cool. It is
Cool universe.
Very cool universe.
Absolutely.
There are points where I think I want to be a Lord of the Rings nerd, but I don't want to do the work for it.
No, it's not worth it. Just watch the movies.
Yeah, watch the movies.
Yeah.
They give you enough. You miss some details, but who cares?
Wasn't Amazon gonna make some sort of a show?
They still are.
Yeah.
Oh, they still are? Okay.
Yeah, last I heard, that's in production, right?
Like a Lord of the Rings show?
Yeah. They're filming in New Zealand again, I think.
Which one of you said that it's total of 5 hours? It's actually longer, so the extended edition all in all of The Hobbit adds up to 532 minutes.
That's 9
So
hours
almost
and 10
6
minutes.
hours.
Oh, no, it's less than 9 hours. 8 hours, 40, 50 minutes.
Yeah, thereabouts. So
That's long as shit.
Jesus.
That's not
It's
worth
just holy shit. It's like,
that's not worth that time.
holy fuck.
The extended
wow.
edition's
I
not
did
worth
math
it.
wrong.
Yeah, it
I
can't
can
be.
only remember like 3 things that happened in that series. So
How is it even that long? How do they pad it so much?
Well, they intentionally
shit.
padded it. I think originally The Hobbit was supposed to be 1 movie, and then they stretched it to 3 because of how well the original trilogy did. So,
Who did the Hobbit? Who did the Hobbit movies? It wasn't
Peter Jackson.
It was Peter Jackson.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, what the
I
fuck
think
happened?
they ran everything 1-to-1. I think they went. Did they do the same thing where they filmed them all at once as well?
Yeah. I genuinely just think it didn't translate well from,
There just wasn't enough source material.
Yeah.
Didn't they all... I mean, apparently there was plenty. Jesus. Also, didn't they make Gandalf cry?
Oh, that's right. It was the Hobbit Battle of Five
yeah.
Armies. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't train to be a classical actor for 90 fucking years to look at green balls.
Yeah, it's really sad,
And
though.
then there was a thing where they had to like release it in 8K and 60 frames a second or something. Like it was one of the first movies to be released at such a high frame rate, and it started making people sick. Like moviegoers hated it.
Yeah,
And
people
apparently
don't
because it
like
was
60
such high-
FPS.
Well, apparently not in movies, and people pointed out that at such high quality, it was, all the props were very obvious. Like all of the editing and shit, and the set pieces. Like people were coming out of the movie saying that, dude, that was like the green screen is so apparent at such a high quality and such. So they fucked that up all the ways.
Mm-hmm. Well, most movies are not even shot at 30 frames. They're shot at like 23.5
27.3, I believe, is what it is.
Yeah, I don't remember. But
yeah, but these motherfuckers wanted to be all extra.
Yeah, I can get 60 FPS for that being jarring, though, just for how movies are.
Yeah, I'd hate 60 FPS for movies.
Yeah, just looks weird.
You ever think how movies are kind of, do you think they've like reached the end game? In the sense that, like, I feel like we don't know many movies from 100 years ago, but that's because, like, technologically they're so far back. But now, like, movies, like, they look pretty real life. Like, everything, unless they do a lot of CGI, they look really good. That you can create a movie that in 100 years will hold up to a movie they create then. Unless I have a bad technology mind.
Yeah.
So we're reaching, like, the peak of graphical fidelity.
Yes.
I would argue,
At least in movies, yeah. I think there's still room in like games and such to grow.
Like I think they reached that with music a while ago.
Well, games is a different issue because there's player immersion. I mean, how fun is it going to be if you're playing Call of Duty and everyone's photorealistic and you're like cutting people's heads off and shit like that? Like watching the light leave men's eyes in real like shit in VR.
PTSD from one Call of Duty session.
That'd be fucking intense, though.
That'd be incredibly intense.
War training material.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think you're right. I mean, graphics have gotten so good. Where do you go beyond lifelike? Right? At that point, you have to go with stuff that isn't realistic.
Mm-hmm. Well,
then again, I think some progress can still be made, Ludwig. Do you remember... Was it The Irishman on Netflix? Another movie that's like 6 hours long?
Oh, yeah, the De Niro one.
And not a bad movie. Yeah, they took this 80-year-old man, but they CG'd him into a 20-year-old, but he still moves like a stiff Terminator, and the facial expressions all look goofy.
Looks like one of the White Walkers from Game of Thrones.
Dude, it's like watching Yoda. But it's a real person. The graphics look all super realistic, and I'm like, I'm buying it. Like, I'm intuitively immersed. Okay, my disbelief is dispelled, but something is still off. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I think that's it. It's like, I don't want to call them gimmicks, but it's like, if they did it practically, it'd be fine. But if they want to do some weird workaround and make an 80-year-old man 20 years old, they probably need some more technology to do that. That's asking a lot. That's 60 years.
It is asking a lot. It's a tall order.
I don't know why they didn't just use a body double and CG'd his face onto a younger man instead of literally having Robert De Niro. Like, there was this one fight scene and he moves like a grandpa, but he's supposed to be 30. That's what ruined it.
I would so much rather just do it the classical way where you get actors that look like them when they were younger to play the role. Like, what's wrong with that? What's the problem?
Yeah, or do that.
It's like you can nitpick and be like, well, his mole's not on that side. Blah, blah. It's like, who gives a fuck? It looks similar enough, and the movie establishes, yep, that's him when he was younger. That's all you need. It's suspension of disbelief.
But at some point, we won't even need actors. We'll just be able to CG our own characters in that are like
that's true.
Human.
I've been thinking about that too. At a certain point, you'll be able to literally just make an ensemble cast. You could have Marilyn Monroe and everyone else from the past, like in this crazy cast for a new Lord of the Rings movie. Not
even just visuals.
They're gonna do that.
You could get their voices and such.
It'd be cheaper than getting the actual actors and actresses too.
Yeah,
well, she's dead. Marilyn Monroe.
Like you said, it would be cheaper to get the digital actress.
You'd have to get a necromancer to bring her back.
Or get her corpse, her original bones, find a trinket she loved in life, and
it'd save you a lot of time.
That'll first happen in porn and then come to movies.
True.
Yeah,
Very
porn
true.
is the greatest innovator of technology.
Porn is the fucking way paver for video.
Porn invented
enhancement.
VR, and no one can tell me otherwise.
Porn is why we chose Blu-ray over HD DVD.
I believe that. I don't even know if that's true.
It's 100% true. When HD DVD and Blu-ray were fighting super hard, porn went with Blu-ray, and that's why we have Blu-rays now. That's a real fact.
Who the fuck buys porn Blu-ray?
Yeah.
Well,
Wait,
back when these were new. Back when these were new things.
Oh wait, when the Blu-ray came out, it feels like it was a while ago.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, we're old. Blu-rays came out, what, like 12
At
years
least
ago?
a decade ago. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you're
but the
saying that
internet
at
was
the
still
time
prevalent then.
it was new. So first of all, imagine being someone who buys
2006.
porn, and then on top of it, you want to buy porn so hard that you're willing to invest in a new medium. That is devious.
But that's what happened.
Wow.
You got to remember, people are old.
No, well, I
Do you
think it's also
the
like
40-year-old back then is
I
gonna
think
know
it's like
about all the...
you're splurging. You're like like when I got my VR headset, that's the first place I went, just like out of curiosity. And I think Blu-ray was it was the VR of 2008, the VR of the Obama era, if you will.
Yeah, 2006 actually, even earlier.
Really, Jesus.
Yeah, 2006
That's Bush
is
era
when
then,
Blu-ray
right?
came out.
Crazy Blu-ray came out then, and then the Wii only had 720p enabled.
Yeah. So back in that era, people absolutely still bought porn and Blu-rays and shit.
I think I would look up movies that I knew had boobs in them and look at the screenshots.
Same. Yeah.
Same.
I used to just pause
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
I remember my go-to was a movie called Used Cars. I don't think anyone here has ever heard of that shit. But it was about like a used car salesman, and once he gets like topless women to dance on cars for like 20 seconds, I was like, "This is it."
When I
This
was
is
a
the
kid,
pinnacle.
It's tried and true.
When I was a kid, one of my favorite movies ever was The Fifth Element, and half of it was because that's a great little sci-fi romp, but the other half was in the beginning. You see a lot of Mila Jovovich's titties, and I was like, "Let's watch The Fifth Element. It's a great movie."
Do you see your titties?
You do when she's being cloned, I think, or created in the human tube in the beginning. Remember, she's naked and they wrap her in the bandages.
Yeah, but you can't see your titties.
Yeah, you see her titties.
I looked up the Fifth Element boobs, and yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the same. I looked up Fifth Element titties.
I looked up boobies like I'm 8.
You're so jaded about it too. Like, I guess. Whereas at the time, if you were 8 years old, this would be the shit.
Fuck yeah.
No, I could see it. I could see it.
Yeah.
Look up the whole 9 yards boobs.
Yeah, here
I don't know that
I'll
one,
post
so-
the image in our Patreon chat here. But like, look, there's her titties.
This was my girl.
But that's not a
Amanda
very
Peet.
sexy shot there.
Hey man, I was like 6. That was like the
I was
fucking
I
mind
was
changer
literally
to me.
10. This was mind blowing. She used her
Yeah.
boobs to distract people and then shot at them. All right, it was hot. It was daring in a
Yeah.
way.
So Fifth Element came out when I was 6 years old, and I remember watching it not long after it came out. So yeah, when I was like 8 or 9, that was the greatest shot in movie history to me.
Wow, I never knew about the whole 9 yards. This would have been a
Yeah.
game changer. Holy shit, it's
Yeah,
titties
well,
everywhere.
there's so much titties.
This was my awakening. Amanda Peet.
So did this impact any of your like later fetishes, or like were you into women with?
Yeah, do you like
guns,
titties
or-
now?
Yeah, I want my girl to bring out the
Do you
9.
like passed out women?
That's
I
a
like
different movie.
when they show up with a Glock pointed at me and then have their titties out.
Yeah,
God.
who doesn't?
Did you bring it up earlier? The Austin Powers scene where she has guns in her tits, the robot?
The Finbots.
I remember as a kid also thinking that was cool as fuck. I was like, man, they got guns in their tits. Whoa. And like I would rewatch that scene a lot.
Well, it's not very sexy though. She's shooting
No,
at
it's not.
people.
It's not very sexy, but again, we're going back to the